Hi, welcome back to another segment of Veterans Did You Know? Today I'm here with Norris Ellis. Norris is sitting here on my right, and Jesse Mikelse is sitting on my left here. Mikelse, did I say that right?
Mikelse.
I'm sorry. And these are both Veterans Employee Specialists. They work, they're federal employees that are working through the state, and their jobs are to assist veterans to become work ready, employable, and assist the employer to find a good vet to go to work for them, and there's a lot of incentive on both sides. It doesn't do any good. We've already discussed about getting a veteran and just letting them go out there and they're not job ready because we're setting them up for failure, and then that adds to the frustration of being unemployed and dealing with the stuff they're dealing with, and then the employer has a bitter taste in their mouth for, I'm not going to hire another vet because, man, that guy or gal was not, they weren't even ready, shouldn't even put them out here and stuff. And so we want to make sure that the employer is happy within the product that we send them, and that the veteran is going to be successful when they go to the job. And sometimes that means stepping back from being employed right off the bat and getting the medical and physical care that you need to make your job ready, or the supportive service that you need, whether it's a tool belt or a way to get back and forth to that job. It doesn't do any good to give you a job if I can't get there, or I've had them here at the center and be homeless, sitting out in the car there, and I know, John, you guys would say, hey, man, I can find you a $10 an hour job. And the guy said, well, where's my wife and kids going to sleep tonight? And for 2 weeks before I get my paycheck, how's that going to work? So that job really he wasn't job ready, even though you had a job for him.
There was no barrier to employment that we were mentioning earlier. Exactly.
So that way, if we were able to get them in, and that we work with that individual and take those barriers away. Okay, let's get you a place to stay, let's get you food, let's get you this, let's get you a car, let's get you set up so that when you do go out there, you're going to stay out there. And we talked too about the getting that federal money, and the federal money being incentives. There's tax rebates now if you, as an employer, if you hire a vet, as much as up to $5,000 and maybe up to $9,000 if it's a disabled vet.
Depending on the class of veteran.
Yeah, so there's money out there just for you. You're going to hire somebody anyway, and we're going to send you a person that's job ready, ready to go to work in the field that you want for your business. And you're going to get money back for doing it. It doesn't get any better than that. So employers, I don't see why you're not just jumping on the bandwagon here. I think you saw the numbers, that the phone numbers, get a hold of these gentlemen, and they can change your life. They can make it better for you. And the bottom line is we keep veterans here in the state. We keep those federal dollars coming back to the state, and we keep employees here so we aren't having this infusion of veterans leaving because they can't find a job here. But if you think you have to leave the state, these guys, I said, were federal, and so any state that you decide you want to go to, they would be able to give you a contact person in that state who does a similar job as you do here. So as a veteran, and you really want to become employed and get a job that's you're going to stay at, or get the training that you need, these are the two guys in our area that you want to get a hold of. And if you're outside this area, if you call them, they'll give you a number of an individual in your community that can get you hooked up with the same benefits. There, I think we pretty well covered that part of it, huh? Pretty good. Can you, either one of you guys, give me I don't want to name names of employers, we certainly can't name names of individuals, but give me a story of somebody who came to you, a veteran, and you were able to help them out.
You know, I have several. You know, working with different manufacturing companies in the industrial field there, by working with these companies and telling them and explaining the need of these veterans, there's a couple of companies that have been very instrumental in being able to put veterans to work. So I've had a veteran who, hey, I just got back from, I just been relieved from active duty, or I just got back from Iraq, I need a job. I've had instances where I can get on the phone and call an employer and say, look, fresh back from home, been home 2 weeks. You know, within a week, this individual was employed. This is one incident, you know, I'm really proud of. I'm just thrilled to death with it. I had a young lady who come into my office. She was very frustrated. She had been separated for about 2 months.
From the military, not from her family. Yeah,
separated from the military.
Whole different kind of separation.
For approximately 2 months. And she had really become frustrated in the job hunt. Now, this was one of those Army medics that we were talking about earlier there. So, you know, I pull up in this, you know, in the system there, looking at a skill set there. And then I get another call, a federal position, Battle Creek there. We're looking for an Army medic. So I was able to put those two together. You know, had some minor changes there because it was a federal position. You know, federal resumes have sort of like
different
a
criteria.
format.
Yeah.
So we got that together, and also when you're applying for a federal position, you need a D-214. If in this case she was a special disabled veteran who was employable, a copy of her rating disability letter there. Sent all that to the people in Battle Creek there. They looked at it, reviewed it. They looked at the skill set there. They were quite elated and happy with that. This lady working right now, actually in this building.
Is that right so, here? Yeah, it worked building. Out good. Yeah.
So the system worked.
I think the important thing for vets employers is that the screening process that takes place.
Yeah.
You have a lot of employers that call you guys because they know you by reputation, and they say, you know, I'm going to hire somebody, or I'm going to call Jesse, or I'm going to call Norris because I want to hire a vet, and they know you're going to do all the screening for them. You're doing all that legwork and all that screening, and they know by your reputations. I know if you're going to send me somebody, you can't guarantee everybody's going to work out. There's no such thing as guarantee that, but you're going to have as good a fit for that individual employer as you can because you've done your work there, and they know that. So again, if you're an employer out there and you have a business and you think about doing any kind of hiring, you might want to get a hold of these guys because they'll do a tremendous job for you, and then you're going to put a veteran to work. And you know, and as we talked about, the unemployment rate is higher amongst veterans than it is the civilian populace by about almost 2 points, I think. We make up about 7% of the populations, veterans do, but we're higher in unemployment, and we make up more than 25% of the homeless population. Now, how sad is that? You have a man or a woman that served their country. We send them off to a war zone, and they fought and did everything they're supposed to do, and they come back home, and they look for a job, and they end up being homeless, or they end up being unemployed at a higher rate than those that stayed here and didn't serve. And I'm not saying everybody can serve their country, but I think, and this is me because I'm retired military, and then I've been doing this the rest of my life, was this stuff, that by golly, we owe it to a vet. Now, you come on as employer, you're sitting back here, you're reaping the benefits of a free country, and this is America, and if it comes down to flipping a coin, you got two people there by it, you should flip it to the vet side. That's my own opinion. And if you're an employer and you're even thinking about it, try one. Try a vet for today, and let these two guys send you somebody that's employable, and see if it doesn't work out for you. I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to say, man, I want some more of them, because that's what I want. Jesse, you got anybody that you've worked with?
And going along with that, I had a company call me up, say I'm looking for an individual, and this is what I'm looking for, and heard about the tax credit, and they wanted me to come out and meet with them and present the tax credit. So I went out there, and in working with this veteran, I also knew that the veteran fit into other populations where other incentives were available for them. And I'm going to bring this up, the veteran himself had a record. And that opened up some other incentives for other groups that were working with him as well. Went out, met with the employer. The employer liked everything about the work opportunity tax credit. The veteran was disabled, so it put them up in the bracket to make for that $9,600 work opportunity tax credit. Not to mention, on-the-job training funds were available because that veteran was involved, or we had enrolled him in another program to help with those that had a background. The employer was really impressed by it, got a call back up, and the employer needed 5 individuals. Wow. And 2 of the positions he was creating just to have people come in. Those.
So there's a lot of incentive out there. And you know, and we talk about this release from the people who got released from incarceration. A lot of vets come back and they have post-traumatic stress, they have traumatic brain injuries, and if they aren't addressing those issues, they don't get into it. They don't have a Muskegon, Michigan, where we have a vet center, we have service officers here, and we have all the supportive services, and there's nobody to reach out for, and their situation goes undiagnosed, and we see it. We see them percolating, and they end up with domestic violence or drunk driving because they're out there trying to get that adrenaline high they had from being in a war, or all the stupid stuff they do. They're good people, they just made a poor choice. And so, not to screw them for the rest of their life for that one poor choice, there's some incentive programs is to give a person a break, if you will. And then they've been screened, believe me, by many different organizations to make sure they are not going to fail, or the least likely to fail of anybody they're going to send you. And you can make a difference in somebody's life that probably otherwise might have had that choice. is by contacting you. And as an employee, again, you don't realize what these individuals can do for you. And as a veteran, if you're sitting out there and thinking, I can't find a job, I don't know where to go, I've looked in the classified sections and there's 3 things. These guys have job listings that you're not going to see in a Chronicle in any place or a newspaper or whatever else, because the employer is going to do exactly what they did you, pick up the phone. I know you guys by reputation, find this individual for me, and I'm going to do my selective shopping because you're going to do all the legwork for me and send me the best product. So if you're a veteran and you're out there and you're unemployed and you're looking for a job, both these guys can help you do your stuff. So
I think it's also very important for us to mention we have what you call the 24-hour hold list.
Yes.
The 24-hour hold list is a list. It's a federal and state mandate process where jobs are presented to veterans first.
Yep. And that means if an employer is in that category, they have a job opening. Veterans have the first crack at it. First 24 hours to get a resume in there, to get their information in there, whatever else. And these guys got that list of stuff. So there's some real incentives. All right, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back and do a segment here with us. So please stay tuned, and we got some more information for you. Thank you.